Hey everybody. Well, recently I celebrated my birthday, and just like last year, there's a lot of stuff that I'd like to show off to you guys. But I'm going to do this sort of in order from least important to most important. And we'll start, I guess, with this. I got myself a pack of Pocky. Wanted to try it, I've heard about it, and I think it looks pretty tasty. And along similar lines, found myself a couple bottles of Ramune drink. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. I've tried the melon flavor before, and that was so good. But then I wanted to try this flavor, lychee. I've not tasted it yet. I'm kind of curious to find out what it's like. If I don't break it first. Anyway, moving on, we have some modeling supplies. And I picked up, first of all, a bottle of this Apple Barrel Pewter Gray Craft Acrylic water-based paint. And basically I use this stuff for details, and I had another bottle of this same color, but it was really old, and I kept finding bits of chunks of stupid dried up paint gunking up in the middle of my detail work, and I'd have to brush it away before the whole paint dried, and I was just getting tired of dealing with that crap. So I figured I'd just pick up a small bottle of this, and glad to have it. And speaking of paints, I also picked up a Tamia Clear Orange and Tamia Clear Yellow paints. These are the acrylic variety, and this completes my set of Tamia Clear Color paints. Now I got all 5 of them, I believe, and now I'm ready for any clear color paint needs that may arise. And to work with those paints, I picked up a small bottle of Tamia Acrylic Thinner. And I also picked up a bottle of Tester's Enamel Thinner, because I've been using this lately to work with my high-grade Sazabi. When I've been painting all the boosters, I needed to apply some Krylon primer and stuff with a brush, and so I've been using this to clean off my brush and thin out the primer when it starts drying out in my jar. But anyway, speaking of jars, I picked up a set of 5 spare bottles, and I got these from a very interesting store called American Science and Surplus. And the best way I can describe this store is it's like a science lab, a toy store, and a junk shop all thrown into one. It's a very unique kind of place, and they've got tons of weird and interesting stuff there. And I figured they'd have spare bottles, and hey, I was right. Only 39 cents each, so this all amounted to a little under $2. And I can use these to mix my own colors of paint and store them, or I can store Krylon spray paints, or whatever form of spray paint I want, spray some in the jar, and keep it separate, so you can use it with a brush for small little details. Also from that American Science and Surplus, I picked up something that I'd been meaning to get for many years. Alligator Clips. And I got a good 5 packs of them, so I got 20 clips. And what's great about these is that if you'll notice down here at the bottom, they've got these holes where you can put a stick in there, and then you use the clamp to attach a model part from the back side to the stick so that you can hold it and spray it with paint and let it dry. And this is something I've been meaning to get my hands on for a while, but I just couldn't find them anywhere. And I've been using blue tack as a substitute for these. But where blue tack fails, or where I just don't feel like using it, these clamps are going to come in mighty handy. And I'm very glad to have these. Now also we have from the same store a modeler's cutting mat. Something I've been going without for many years now, ever since I started modeling, in fact. And I figured it was about time to get one. It was right there. It only cost me, what, $3? I don't know. The price ain't on here, but it was pretty cheap. And I figured it'll come in handy when I'm working with this. I found this crazy hollow foil magnetic sheet at this place. And it's kind of weird because I brought it home and I noticed there were a couple smudges or something on there. So I figured I'd clean it off with some kind of alcoholic cleansing liquid. And then I noticed that the blotches were getting bigger and this whole film of what I can only assume is plastic starts peeling off, and still there's these smudges and things. So I'm thinking, oh great, what's going on here? Did I ruin it or what? But then I kept going with the alcohol, smartly or stupidly, and as you can see, I got off some of the sparkly stuff, though it shows through a little. But I ended up getting what used to be a very dull surface, and now it's extremely shiny. And what I can probably do is cut out whatever shape or pattern or anything that I want with the use of this cutting mat, and then I can apply it to certain areas of whatever model kit I think I should add it to. A prime example might be, say, the high-grade Gundam X that came out. Although you do get those stickers, which are basically the same thing. But also think about all the 00 kits that you might want those same hollow foil stickers for, like what come in the Trans Am versions. I mean, this is basically the same idea. And even though I may have damaged a few little spots here and there, I still have plenty of workable surface area and no more smudging. So, pleased with that. And the last thing I got from that store was a set of tweezers. They come in a little slip like this. Then there's this little cover here, keeps them closed and protects the tips. And the tips are rather nice. Probably going to be useful for certain other things that I'll show eventually. And then I went to a local model store. And I picked up, first of all, a set of these little eyedropper thingies. And these are great for transferring liquids like primer or paint or thinner from one bottle to another so that you can precisely measure and mix different amounts of whatever liquid you want to. And at 89 cents I figured I couldn't go wrong. But I also picked up a set of new brushes. And I figure it's always good to have a few on hand just in case you accidentally ruin one or whatever. I mean, I just like buying brushes too, and like I say, it's always good to have a few on hand if you need them. And then I picked up a new set of nippers, and I have a set already, and this is basically the same thing. I mean, the same shape, the same blades, same size, may even be the same maker, and it was even the same price, about $13. But my old pair was old, and I damaged it a little in kind of a stupid modeling accident, but I picked up a new pair, and this is basically the same thing I used before, so I figure I should be getting at least the same results as I got back then. And it's looking like a nice pair. So, last thing I picked up, at least for this video, was a couple of clear action base ones. And I have two black ones, and I have one special one for the Master Grade Sinanju version Ka, which is a model I also have. But as I've not built either of them yet, I figured I could use a couple of spare action bases, and I wanted to try out the clear ones. And basically, we're out of time here. So, more stuff is on the way. So I'll get to that when it arrives. So until the next video, catch you later, everybody.
Tasty.
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 Yum yum.
And to quote the great Robert 184, I could stare at this for hours.